Welcome to the Forgotten Manual. Today is another VRops day. I've got a lot of those days in me. Sorry, Aria Operations, whatever you want to call it. But you're welcome. I'm CXI, and I'm sure I'm overrunning the gain on my microphone today. So today we're going to do something that I get asked at times, and I want to be able to answer that question right here, magically, for all y'all. So I will often talk about dashboards, right? Where are my dashboards at? My dashboards are like right here. Hey, dashboards. I often talk about dashboards. And I know our dashboards live over here. That was weird. Our dashboards live over here on this thing called vRealize, right? Because if we click vRealize, it's going to expand out and have this little thing underneath it. And that little thingy, that little thing right there is called dashboards. So let's jump right into it. And the key about what we're going to be looking at here is we're going to click it from here. We could click either way. But what will come up out of this is I'll often bring up, hey, you should check out this particular dashboard. Hey, there's this really cool dashboard. You know, blah, 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 whatever that happens to be. You know, hey, there's a really cool VM right-sizing dashboard, right? These are some of my pinned ones. But yeah, definitely like and subscribe if you haven't by this point. But we're going to get into the action of, while you can create some amazing dashboards. In fact, I'm going to get the most amazing Brock Peterson to take us on a journey of doing that in another video. But for this video, I want to show you how you can import them, because a lot of people don't necessarily know how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go right over here to VMware Sample Exchange, you know, developer.vmware.com. I usually Google like VMware code. And there's a number of different dashboards out here. I'm going to show you two different forms of dashboards that we're going to try to install. The first one is going to be, hey, look, Brock Peterson. The first one is going to be this troubleshooting VMs and ESXi hosts. And the second one will be the troubleshooting VMs v3 dashboard. So we'll start with this troubleshooting VMs ESXi host one, and for one sole reason. I'm going to hit the little download button here, and boom, look at that. It's got this thing called dashboard.json. You're saying, oh man, I love JSON. He's my favorite friend. So, getting into the action of things, we're going to jump straight into how do we import that dashboard. Emphasis on the word of import. So we're inside of VRops or Aria Operations. We're inside of vRealize dashboards. We're in this dashboard section. We're going to go click on manage right over here. We're going to hit the little manage button. And we've got all this stuff here, blah, blah, blah. Now we're going to click on these three dots, the ellipses, whatever you want to call them. The kebab, as I've heard it called before. And we want to choose to import. So we're not adding a dashboard, we're importing a dashboard. So I'm going to go and find, we're going to go find that dashboard in question. We popped over here inside of our little download section. And we're going to see it there, right? There's dashboard3.json, right? That's that dashboard that we literally just downloaded. So we're going to go and double click on that little dashboard. It's going to appear in our little list, and we're going to hit import. It's going to do its little jazz stuff. I'm going to, look at that, dashboard imported successfully. We're going to hit done. And I'm also going to clear out that download. And now that dashboard will appear within our list of dashboards. You might be saying, oh, but where did it go? And what Christopher would do in this scenario, because I don't know where it went, is I'm going to sort by last modified. And the reason I'm going to sort by last modified is I'm going to find it the fastest way possible. Hey, look, there it is. Troubleshooting VMs and ESXi hosts. Look at that. That was very simple and straightforward, right? I can go, I'm logged in as admin right now, so the owner admin, perfect. I'm going to go click that little dashboard there, and I'm going to be able to go and do stuff. You know, whatever that stuff happens to be. You know, and if I want to then go and edit that dashboard or other things like that, and I've got all these different actions and things that I can take advantage of. I can edit that dashboard and such like that. And if I want to, I could even go and favorite that dashboard so they'll appear over inside my little favorites list on the left here. So I've got all these different ones. I'm going to go hit the little favorite, and then boom, now look at that, it appeared right there at the bottom. But I don't actually want to favorite this one, so I'm going to go and unfavorite that particular dashboard. So that becomes a really straightforward process for importing a dashboard that only consists of a JSON. Right, we're going to go pop back over here. We're going to go look at our actual dashboard itself. And we're going to edit that dashboard. We've got all the types of things. So if we want to learn how to do some of these things, like, hey, when this dashboard was created for us, how did it do all this different stuff? I can over there hit my show interactions like, oh, that's how it did it. It had my object list that tagged over into my metric, my 2 different metric charts, and these sub elements that have in there, which then feeds these other items here. I'm able to do that and then start to figure out how I want to create my next dashboard by taking a use case, an example, being able to use data that exists from somewhere else rather than trying to figure it all out on my own from scratch. Like, how did you do the thing, right? Because if I go in here and I grab, I don't know, any of these random things, it's gonna start to populate out that information. Let me grab this Apache Tomcat I have here. Let's do that. Look at that, and I've got that, and it's gonna start to populate all the rest of the information. I'm gonna have knowledge. And I'm going to go do that part. It's going to populate the rest of this information here as well. So I have these bits of knowledge and insight. Now, mind you, I'm currently in editing mode as opposed to operational using mode. So that's why it looks a little different. That's why I have my widget list here at the bottom where I can go and add more stuff to this and tweak it. Now, all that said, this is easy. We imported JSON. We can go and play with it. What if we have something a little more complicated, right? What if we went and we downloaded Troubleshooting VMs v3? That is a little more to the picture. So we're going to jump straight over into that. I already have that one downloaded. There it is, Troubleshooting VMs v3. Now this is not a JSON, you might notice. This is a zip file. So the first thing I need to do is I need to extract it. And that's going to go and extract all the stuff out right here. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's all extracted. I'll pop into it. And inside of this zip file, I have 2 zip files. Like, wait, what? I'm going to go and take my dashboard zip, extract that. And then I'm going to go and take my views zip. So look at them. Inside of dashboard, what we will have is my dashboard JSON. Like, hey, I remember that. But we not only have dashboards, we also have views in here. So I'm also going to extract out my views. So then I will have, right, or is it? It was just the content XML. That's on me. Normally these things go into subfolders. That's fine. So we go back over here. What we want to do is we want to now import our new dashboard. So we're going to go to import, we're going to go browse, we're going to go inside of here, we're going to go inside of dashboard, and we're going to go open up our dashboard JSON. What we're going to do is we're going to go and import, dun dun dun. It's going to come right into our system here. Look at that, imported successfully. But we're not done. We are not done one bit. And I will note, you notice it's called Troubleshooting VMs v3.1 because we already had an existing one, so this becomes an extra one. So now we're going to go over here on the left under Dashboards and under Visualize. We're going to go into Views, and we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to go hit Manage. We're going to go hit our kebab. We're going to go hit Import. We're totally going to do all that again, except where I don't click something else on the screen. We're going to go to Manage. We're going to hit our kebab, and we're going to hit Import. There we go. We're going to go browse to that XML file. We're going to go back up a level. And out of that is we have our content.xml. We're going to go double click that one and import it. All right, so you'll notice it says views import failed. And that is because it already existed, right? Because in case of conflict, skip import or overwrite existing view. So in this case, we're going to overwrite the existing view since we already have that view in here. So this is not something you would be experiencing if you did this for the first time, but it's good for you to see me doing this so that way you don't have this problem in your future. All right, so that view imported successfully. Now that view will show up in the list, which means if we go back to our dashboard, we can go find that brand new dashboard that we just imported. So we're going to go and find our Troubleshooting VMs v3 dashboard here. We'll go search for v3. And now I'm going to have a series of options here. Look at that, Troubleshooting VMs v3 showing up down there in my little list. And it'll go and load the environment, and there we are. And this is, as you've seen from my other videos where I expose and point out the stuff you can do inside this Troubleshooting VMs v3 dashboard. There's so many very cool things you can do in here. My favorite ways is often to go grab disk write latency and sort by that, because I want to find the things that have the highest disk write latency in order to try to identify if I have some type of problems going on, right? If you've got something that has a high read or write latency, chances are those things are going to be having issues in your environment. Not always, but often. Definitely often. And it's a good way to try to find problems before people report problems to you. And you'll be able to go forth and dig into here and have a lot of fun and play around with it. And if you want to, we'll even go grab we'll grab this HCX node as an example. It goes and populates out the rest of the stuff inside the environment. So it'll go and pull in all this lovely information like memory usage and write latency and all that kind of fun stuff. And as always, for good fun, we'll go pop into the edit view and we'll be able to show those interactions. So that way you have a sense of, hey, when I want to build a thing that does something similar, how are those interactions handled? And you're able to see like, ooh, this is very nice and hierarchical. So we're not going too deep. We're not building dashboards from scratch. All we've done today is go download some dashboards and how we install them. If they happen to just consist of a dashboard that's JSON using existing views, or if they're dashboards that also bring along their own view in addition to actually building out a dashboard like this awesome troubleshooting VMs v3 dashboard. I do encourage, if you are playing around with new dashboards, at the time of the playing around with the dashboard, is you should always go forth and clone the dashboard that you want to be playing with, especially if you happen to be making new changes. So we'll do one last part on that, visualize dashboards, and we're going to go find our dashboards here. We're going to go pop over to manage. We're going to go grab a dashboard in question, and we're going to clone dashboard. Clone will become your friend. We'll call it new CXI dashboard, right? Clone is a good place for you to test things out before you release those items to the masses, to anyone that happens to not be yourself. And even if it is for yourself, and also don't forget about sharing your dashboards if you're exposing them to other people, because otherwise they won't be able to see them. So hopefully this was helpful and useful as you get started playing with dashboards. If you've never imported them, now you kind of know what it takes to import them. If you've never downloaded them, now you know what it takes to go and download some of these different dashboards off of the sample exchange. So it's a good way to get started and a good way to get utilizing your vRealize Operations, Aria Operations footprint. Hope you guys liked the video. Definitely hit that like button. Absolutely hit that subscribe button. There's going to be more stuff like this, and we'll get some of the best of the best in the industry to also be able to show you how to do some of the very cool things. I will catch you guys on the flip side. This is the Forgotten Manual, Tech Edition. Bye-bye.